Currently in Henrietta, Oklahoma, I'm walking down Holly Road. Right in front of you, if you see that little house on this piece of property right here, this is the site of where last week a mass murder occurred. 6 people were murdered right here. The victims, 35-year-old Holly Guest, 13-year-old Tiffany Guest, 17-year-old Riley Allen, 15-year-old Michael Mayo, 16-year-old Brittany Brewer, and 14-year-old Ivy Webster. So Ivy and Brittany were friends with Tiffany, who was the daughter of Holly, and she was married to a disgusting rapist creep, 39-year-old Jesse McFadden. He is the one that shot and killed everybody that was at this property on Saturday night before turning the gun on himself. As you can see, there's OSBI investigators on the scene. You can see a U-Haul over there. I took my drone up a little bit so you can kind of get a better view of the property. If you see those 2 lakes, those little ponds in the video, that's about the area where some of the bodies were found. Now, Ivy and Brittany, before they were found dead here, there was an Amber Alert issued for them. They were supposed to come home the following Sunday morning after spending the night here. Now, Tiffany, Riley, and Michael, those are the 3 children of Holly Guest. Now, supposedly Holly was married to Jesse McFadden. Now, I don't know if she took his last name or what, because they're reporting her name as either Holly McFadden or Holly Guest. But on that night, he shot and killed 6 people, 3 of her kids, 2 of their friends, his wife, and then turned the gun on himself. And this murder just happened, and there's not a lot of information, honestly, that I could tell you guys right now. Jesse McFadden had done 17 years of a 20-year prison sentence for first-degree rape. He had raped a teenage associate of a friend of his back in 2003 in McAllister. He was sentenced to 20 years, did 17 years in prison, and then was released. And at the time of the murders, the following Monday, he was supposed to show up in court on a charge of possession of child pornography and soliciting a minor. Get this. In 2017, while he was in prison, he had a Snapchat, and he was sending messages to a teenager on the outside. And based off of that, he was supposed to go to court to face charges on that probably would have sent him back to prison for many years. We don't know why he did this. We don't know if there was a note left, the reasons why he did this. All of the bodies have been taken out of this place. As a matter of fact, if you want to look down the road over yonder, there is a memorial service going on for one of the victims in this case, Ivy Webster. I flew my drone over the family's property. I didn't want to be too intrusive, but I caught a good shot of her name that was written on the some kind of a concrete slab in the area of the family's property. And you can see in the video all of the family members and friends of Ivy there down below for a memorial service. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 investigators, cars, and then you got some more over yonder. And right now they're probably just surveying, they're gathering whatever evidence. All I could tell you is that 2 groups of 3, I believe, that were killed were placed side by side each other, I believe. Don't quote me on this. Guys, there's a lot of information to unpack that nobody really knows what's going on. Nobody really is knowing what's happening. You probably got some family member and friends over in that area. As you can see, they are talking to investigators. I'm sure the U-Haul is probably rented by the OSBI, so they could just kind of gather whatever evidence they possibly can. And no information on whether this guy assaulted any of the children. I got several questions. One of my questions goes as follows. Why is a woman dating a rapist? Why is a woman dating a rapist and bringing the rapist around her children? I have no idea. And Holly Guess, she's getting a lot of flack. A lot of people online are asking, why is a woman allowing a rapist around her children? And to that, I say I have absolutely no idea. I don't know why she did this. This guy was obviously dangerous. The crime that occurred here, the weapon used was a 9mm that was purchased by Holly Guest sometime January of last year. Of course, Jesse McFadden wouldn't be able to possess any kind of a weapon. I don't know if this guy was out on parole. I don't believe he was on any kind of paper or probation of parole or anything of that nature. At the time, he was working a job, some kind of I believe a marketing job. Guys, a lot of this information is somewhat hearsay. It's somewhat rumorish. I really don't know. This isn't like an obvious or an average story that I do that there's already court transcripts and records that I could read and go through. A lot of this, people simply don't know. They don't know why he did this. They don't know what happened. I don't know if there was any kind of defensive wounds. This is pretty quiet out here. I'm imagining if you hear a gunshot that it's going to alert the kids that are in the area. So I don't know if they had gunshots at the back of their heads, but I do know a couple of the victims, like one of them had lady almost hit me right there. Yeah, I got to be careful right here. I got to wrap up this video because people keep trying to drive down the road while looking here and trying to run into me. But I don't know if they had defensive wounds. I know that a couple of the victims were shot at least twice in the head. I know at least a couple of the victims had different the bullet wounds. One of them was in the front of the head, one of them was in the side of the head, one of them was in the back of the head. I do not know if they were shot execution style. I have absolutely no idea. You can see a guy, the zoom on this isn't really all that great, but you can see that guy, he's kind of taking pictures around the property. And also, I don't know if this property was owned or rented. One article says that Holly was renting this place from somebody. Another article says that she was a caretaker. Another article says that this property was owned by Jesse McFadden's family. Again, everything in the air, everything. I have absolutely no idea. This Jesse McFadden weirdo creepazoid was described from other people that knew him as being very creepy, adding some of his wife's daughter's friends onto his Snapchat. Just a creepy guy with creepy vibes. The rape victim survivor, her name is Crystal Strong, I believe, and she has made her presence on social media well known, so I'm not outing the victim. She has identified herself. She said that this guy was always known back in McAllister as an ultimate creepazoid, and just one sick bastard, just a sexual predator, a sexual pervert, just a sexual creep at the end of the day. And again, I have no idea why you would bring this creep around your family members. I have absolutely no idea. That's really all the information I have for you guys. I was in the area, so I thought I'd stop by. This just happened last week, and all the other information that you're going to get, that you're going to see online, is really just circumstantial at best. The investigators, they don't know why. They don't know, all they know is that a couple of the victims were seen in Henrietta on Saturday night, April 29th, and the bodies were discovered, I believe, May 1st, which was this day that Jesse McFadden was supposed to be in court to answer the charges of the possession of the child pornography. And this is when all the victims' bodies were found on this property. So really, that's all I know of this matter, of this case. Okay, guys, I am out of here. I got to hit the road. I got to get going. I will see you guys on the next video. Be safe, guys. Peace out.